News Around the Numbers. My name is Jason, and this is a video part of the warm-up series. It's also a video part of the 100 videos in 100 days, a challenge I'm getting a whole lot of content out for you. That's the whole purpose. It's a challenge to myself, but I hope you benefit because you'll learn some things, put some things top of mind, and overall get some help along for your personal finance journey. Today we're on the move, we're in motion at a beautiful park here in Los Angeles, California. And today we have kind of a short and sweet, just something that crossed my radar, or resurfaced, I should say resurfaced onto my radar as a possible investment to share with you. It's one that, in fact, I am convinced I'll get into myself, and that is T-bills. Now, you might think this is very, very boring. Treasury bills might not have that sex appeal, that flair. But yeah, there's a lot of reason to get T-bills right now, and that is the annualized sort of investment rate is pretty substantial. It's nothing to sneeze at. So as you might know, any sort of yield, any sort of APY of which is higher than 5% usually gets my attention in terms of a high yield savings account. In terms of just other things, barred from this discussion, of course, is just kind of stock or other type of assets that you're taking on a whole lot more risk. You have a different risk profile. Here we're talking about treasuries, in fact T-bills here, backed by, of course, the good faith of the United States of America. So it's pretty much considered something as to risk-free. Nothing, of course, is ever risk-free. So I know you might be shouting out in playing stickler of sorts to say, of course, there's risk for everything. And yes, but this is to say, in terms of the whole universe of options, in terms of investments, it's very, very safe. And so for that reason, I'm putting this in the category along with, deposits in, say, a bank account that's covered by, FDIC insured, all that sort of thing. I'm putting this in kind of the equivalent where it's very much a risk-free investment. And the reason I mention all of this category of risk-free and equivalent to cash deposits and showing my benchmark 5% is because the T-bills have an investment rate equivalent of 5.4% as I'm filming this right now. Now, there's always an kind of an auction of sorts for these marketable securities, as you might look into it. Now, these marketable securities, they're going to have something of an auction, and then thereby, you might be looking at this in the future and be like, okay, well, it wasn't 5.4, so it has to kind of settle. The auction closes, but the anticipated rate, as I'm looking at it right now, is somewhere around the 5.4, and that goes across the different T-bills I'm looking into. Now, let me mention a little bit as to different T-bills that different time horizons, length of maturity of which you'd hold the T-bills, and there's different investment rates, different yields kind of associated to it, but overall they're so close you can kind of round them, in my book at least, to somewhere around the 5.4% as of right now. And so the ones I'm looking at, there's a 4-week T-bill, an 8-week T-bill, a 13-week T-bill, and there are some others. There's a 17-week, a 26-week. So there are some others. I'm not wanting to push it all the way out that lengthy of a time horizon. I'm looking at something more of like a 4-week an 8-week, and maybe a 13-week T-bill kind of ladder of sorts of what my holding would be. It might even be kind of an equivalent of kind of I'd end up getting these T-bills and have them reinvested. So that's to say, you can just simply have it where the T-bill, when it comes to maturity, just simply goes again and purchases to the same length duration. So if I get a 4-week, it then gets reinvested to purchase yet again another 4-week T-bill. So I might do that. So it's almost the equivalent of then getting looking at assuming it, things don't move around all that much. You might think, oh, okay, it's very much similar to like an 8-week and that sort of thing. So yeah, reinvested. All these kind of can look like they're something of the same investment. There are some nuance, so I will do something of a ladder approach to getting some 4 weeks, and separate to that I'll get some 8 weeks, and separate to that I'll purchase 13 weeks. Now you need to purchase T-bills in $100 increments. So if I want to just dabble, which I'm gonna do right as my first step of this, is dabble at first and maybe get, say, 10 in each of these. So that's to say I'll get 10 of the 4 weeks, I'll get 10 of the 8 weeks, and 10 of the 13 weeks. And so that's doing the math there for you. Is to say $1,000 investment in each of these 3 length duration. So it's like a $3,000 way to sort of learn a little bit, sort of play this at first to start and figure out, okay, is this the right for me? Now I'm purchasing this for myself because it fits a couple of different boxes. One, it's nice and as we talked at length about, something close to risk-free, very, very safe. I like that right now. I want to take this money, make sure it's nice and secured. I want money to not vanish, not putting it into some meme stock or something crazy. So this is, I like the risk profile here. I'm also liking the time horizon, the amount of time here. It's only 4 weeks at the low, 8, 13, very, very short durations in my book, of which I'm happy to kind of tie up money. So I'm giving up that liquidity to have that money be where I want to hold it all the way to maturity. So I'm happy with the time horizon, the amount involved as well is very small. So all these things all put together, it's something that I wanted to share with you as to something I'm exploring. I can give an update as to, once some of these mature, I can give something of okay, now they've matured, even reinvested once, twice. I'll give an update some point in the future and let you know something of a more of a review. But now it's just kind of a first impression as I've learned about it, and I'm gonna dabble into it. But it crossed my radar, resurfaced onto my radar, and so I wanted to bring that to your attention. All right, hope that helps, and you can look into T-bills, treasury bills. All right, gotta run.